Okay, it's Tuesday in the game, and that means we are looking at boat day. Yes, boat day is a thing now. You know what else is a thing now? Let me just, this is good. Yep, unlock. There we go. You know what else is a thing now? 3 doors that we didn't have before. Like, here's the first 2. Come a long way from that tiny little room we were in to now having all of this room. And I just don't have enough money. Can't have enough money. We're going to make some major design changes today before we open the doors. And we're going to use some of this extra equipment that we have over here to do it. Okay? So we're going to start by separating the weight check and the serial number checks at least with these 2 doors. Okay? And we're going to see just how heavy it is with these 2 and get a feel for what it's going to be like to have to deal with all of those. So we're going to largely ignore the second 2 doors. I'm going to go over there and kind of unload packages because I need the money. But prominently what I'm going to do is just look and watch how the load balance works here. So we have a sticker check and this whole thing is set up already. Perfect. The second bit though, we want to be able to get weight check in. Okay, so this part's a little tough because right now, like, we already have this stuff set. So I'm going to have to start moving stuff, basically. So we're going to start kind of tearing the whole setup apart. And this is going to take a while for me. I think I'm probably just going to mostly edit through this with you. Unless it's going really well and it's really interesting, then maybe we'll keep it going. But yeah, so I think about here is good for the weight check. Okay, it's right next to this shelf. And, you know, the shelf's going to have to move. That's just the way it goes. The shelf is gone. At least for now, it's going to be there. Okay. And then a lot of this stuff is going to change too because we're moving this. So let's just keep the belts. Move them all over here. And we're going to kind of rearrange things so that this weight checker is now located pretty much like right here is where I'm looking to have it. Okay. Now, with that done, that shelf was kind of redundant. It means it doesn't need to exist. So a lot of these things can go to. Because I just had it, I kind of had it over there and I was like, this looks cool, let's do this. But we don't need looks cool now. Now what we really need is works well, right? We just need things to work cool. So we're going to do that as well. I got $9,000 now. All the packages going off on the boats. I think we're pretty much done though. Yep. All the maritime packages are gone now. Okay. So with the weight checker here, we're going to see the invalid packages meet up with this belt here. Okay. So all the invalids are going to go here. And we're probably going to have to start painting things and changing things around, and that's okay. So what I'll have is this this bendy one right here, like that. We're gonna get another bendy one here. Now I have some, but again, we're probably gonna end up repainting these just because. So let's rotate. Why? Oh, silly me! You're hitting. I'm hitting E instead of R. Okay, there it is. And then put this belt. This is a join. Yes, this is a join. Leave that alone. Grab a straight belt and put that here. No. I want the join. I want the join. Put the join right here. Yes, like that. Okay. So first what happens, and actually, honestly, I could probably just get by with... Let's keep the curvy ones. I'm going to take the curvy ones away. Okay. And we're going to move to have straight belts here with the 2 like this. Yeah. Like this instead, I think. This is going to give me more room on that side. I like it. Okay, let's do that. And then this belt will come in and slap here. So what we have now is a denial on weight, sends it to the red belt. Okay, same thing we had before. All the red belts doing red belt things. Put this over like that. And we're going to get another checker right here. Okay, now this is all going for one truck only. It's going to make it a little bit more efficient, a little bit faster. I don't know, but it's not efficient. It's not more efficient, but it is faster. And that's kind of all that matters to me right now, is that it's faster. So we're going to take this. So I'm building in a little bit of a buffer. And then we want this to curve right back in. I don't want to block the doors and stuff, so we're going to curve it right back in. And this time it's going to go into the serial number checker, which is right here. Okay. So this serial number check. I'm going to leave that serial number checker there. Eventually I was going to do this anyway, but it doesn't really matter which machine goes where. So serial number checker is here. We're going to pull this serial number checker over, and you're going to be here instead. And you can kind of see where that's going. Okay. So once again, the denials are on this side. All right. And we're going to see those denies go like so. That way. I want more room. I want more room. I'm going to do it this way anyway. It's going to be a little bit of a juggle. Yeah. Yeah, I want that. And then give me you. There. Again, I'm going to repaint all these belts later. Okay. So we've got that stuff. Let's put this stuff over here. Just going to leave all these belts over here so I can see what I'm working with. I'm pretty sure I won't need the unloader and loader belts though. So let's just move those completely out of here. We'll use it for this other setup that's going to happen on that side. The shelf can go. Actually, I have another idea for that shelf. We're going to try that concept I was talking about last video where we're going to maybe use a shelf to load the truck directly into a shelf just to see what it does. Just to see how that works with everything. So this goes directly that way. And this needs to be a joiner as well. Did I have another joiner? I don't have another joiner, so I'm gonna have to get another joiner. But this needs to be a joiner so that it can hook up. Does it though? Does it though? Because no, I think not. That serial number's fine. This is a new serial number checker. You know what? I'm thinking maybe it doesn't need it. We'll be all right there. Okay. If valid, where you need to get the valid packages on this belt to get over to the stamp checker on that one. We're going to have this stamp checker work for all of these packages, right? Now, I don't know if that's a good idea, but we're getting danger close to this door, and I kind of have to have them at some point meeting up. Now, maybe what I could do, this part I haven't thought this part through yet all the way. So bear with me here, just a little bit. Or maybe I'll cut you in. I think I'll probably cut you in at this point. So what I'm trying to do, right, is I want three machines dedicated to one truck, right, is what I was going to do, which is the approval, denial, auto sorter, the weight, and the serial number. So auto approval, denial, weight, serial number for this truck too. Okay. And then they both will merge and meet up with that stamp checker. And then that stamp checker gets upgraded so that it's very fast. That was the hope anyway. It was $10,000 to do that, but I was hoping I could, I almost got it. I was hoping I'd have $10,000 by the time the boats were done, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll cut you in on what I'm thinking. I'm going to rearrange a lot of stuff here. I'll be right back. Okay, real quick, let's just break down these belts because I'm going to start using them, but not like this. Okay, so we're going to break those down really quick so I can just kind of move them out of here. And what we want to do, all right, this is how I've got this set up so far. So this truck now is going to go straight this direction, okay? It's going to turn this direction. Got all this wide open space right now, right? It's going to turn this direction, and it's going to get approval denial here. If denied, it gets sent down this path. It's on the red belt. That's what it needed to be. So here it is. I'm wondering if this is the right direction. Not sure if it was. Either way, there, like that, okay? Now, we've still got this joiner here for when this belt comes down. I'm not sure that's going to stay, but for now, like I still got the joiner there. I can use it later if I'm not. And then what I want to do is let's just pull this out of the way here. I want to take one of my bendy ones. Let's just use the green one. Sure. So for approved already, it's going to go this way. Now what we're going to see out of this approval belt is we're going to try to get the automatically approved belts to enter right here. I want them here. That way they bypass this entire setup, but they still end up on this path that is identical to all the other packages that are approved, and it's right into the system, right? So we're going to bring this door basically to where it ends up going right past this, like here, okay? And this is a level 2 belt, so I want this closer to the door. I'm just going to try to make sure I'm using the level 2 belts. I'll probably upgrade a lot of these belts too, but for now, if they're already upgraded as level 2, I'm going to leave them here. So you move, you replace. There. So I want this to go right past this like that, all right? And then we'll end up merging here. So I think this most likely needs to be shifted to be here. Like that. And then this belt, yeah, merges like right there. And we have like all of these stands here we can get to go through this direction. Okay, so pick this up. Yep. Like that. Just pick a couple of these, all right? And they go like that. So our... you're level 2. This is a level 1. You're going there. So there's deny. Done. Don't have to route it anymore. Probably will want this here, okay, to double back around and come back this way. I need them to go back this way, right? In order to share this other scanner. That's got to happen. So I'm going to keep cranking on this. There's definitely some more developments to do here, but I just wanted to get you filled in. It's sort of the idea is this is going to come this way a little bit. Then it's going to start pulling back this way. So it's not going to stick out much. It's like it goes to here and that's it, pretty much. So we're going to need another bridge. I actually think I have one. I have a bridge. It's right here. This bridge. So we're going to need a bridge that goes through here. Right? It's going to end up going over top of this. And that's our approvals that are going to go over top of this. So we're going to end up having it be like that. And like that. It wraps around like that, okay? With that approval done, new machine here to check serial numbers and wait. Sorry, wait and then serial. We're going to do the same order. So wait and serial numbers here. And then yeah, I have something like this happening over here. So you'll see these 3 machines are kind of set up for what I was thinking of doing over here with this this door. But I'm gonna pull these machines out. We're gonna just make sure that the doors we already have, the system we already have, is better before we start, you know, trying to improve other things. So we want this to be. It actually needs to be here because I need enough room for all the belts to move over. So I actually need this to be, well, we can change these. Yeah, we're gonna rearrange where these are anyway. The locations are all gonna change. Let me just do that. I'll be right back. Okay, I think the initial 2 trucks are looking pretty good. We have a separate tag check. I'll just walk you through it. The same check here as we had last time, but now the weight checker is here. Goes to serial number checker here. And then the stamp one is down there. Okay? On this side, we're going to try our little experiment with the shelf. So on this side, maxed out belts, bring it all the way in from here. I'm going to max out these belts. I probably didn't need to max this out, but just for the sake of the experiment, it could be this is the bottleneck. So let's max this out. That's going to go into the shelf. Okay, then it's going to come out of here. We'll max that out too, I guess. It's going to come out of the shelf into the sticker checker here. Okay. Now I could upgrade this, and I probably should just for the sake of the experiment. So I'm going to hit that button and upgrade this one. Okay. Max speed on that one. And we have also max speed on this one already too. We already upgraded this one, right? Yes. Okay. This one is level 2. And this one is level 1. So that's, I don't have the money yet, but we'll hopefully get it as we go. Okay. This one here is a level 2. So our serial number checker here is level 2. Serial number checker here is level 1. So I need to upgrade this one to get the results to be the same. So after this, it's going to do a couple of things. If it's bad, it sends itself over here and enters into the red belt side. And I went ahead and I painted all the belts so you can kind of more easily see the path that everything is going down, okay? And then if it's approved on this side, this was like a big question mark for me initially because all my pre-approval sorting is happening over there. What do I do over here? Well, pre-approval sorting right here is going to come around, right? And it comes all the way over. I need to buy green paint, but whatever. It's going to come around and merge here, as we discussed, and then it's into the sorting over here for delivery. So everything is fine. All of this sorting is just to get it out of the way so it can eventually end up over here anyway on the shelves, with the exception of rail. I guess rail has its own storage there, but oh, speaking of which, we need to do that too, don't we? Yes, we do. So over here needs to be changed just a little bit. So on this side is where the other was going. This is the planes and boats. And that can pretty much be the same as it was before. I just have to go get a corner piece. Let's go corner pieces. Do I not have any corner pieces? I have one right there at the bottom, right there. So I've got this corner piece. Let's just grab this. Do I need more than one? No. I'll just need a straight piece from here. Yeah, right there. Okay. And of course, we'll get some green paint on some of these things too. Or it's just any level 1 belt will do. Nope, that's a joiner. Put that back. We want this here instead. There we go. And I'm trying as best I can to use the levels belts in the appropriate places. So that part also took me a little bit of time, making sure that we weren't using, for example, absolutely maxed out belts on this, you know, exit path here. Because all the belts, you can tell what they are by the lights on the sides too. So the little arrows with no lights on the side, that's a level 1. If there's a little light on the side, that's a level 2. And then if it has a really long light on the side, that's a maxed out level 3. And so I'm just kind of like looking through here, making sure I don't have any level 3 belts, you know, in this area. But coming off the truck, that's where I want the fastest belts to just get it out of here. And so that's where those are. Same thing over here. The fastest belts are over here, at least right here initially, just to get it away from the truck. Looks like I got to upgrade that one too, yeah. Just to get it away from that area. And then I have a maxed out belt here too, because I just assume that it's just the joiner is, but I just assume that things are going to be coming through here and merging and all sorts of stuff. So I probably will switch this. In fact, I should. Not sure how that happened. Let me just swap this. I think this is supposed to be here. I'm not sure how that happened. Yeah. This is the maxed out one because both of these are coming through like that. Yeah. And so we'll just have these maxed out real quick just to, you know, get through there because there's a lot of negative and a lot of bad packages are probably on its way. Okay, so with $2,000 left, this setup is done and it's not colored correctly, but it's done. And so what I suspect the bottleneck will be is, right, the stamp checker. And so this is the first machine I would want to max out to level 3, aside from the tags, the approve or deny stickers, right? And then we also have this weight checker, which is level 1 now too. So as packages come in and I get this money, I'm going to start upgrading these machines. We're going to mostly ignore, I mean, like the setup, I guess. Mostly ignore the setup for these trucks here. What I'm going to do today, myself, like at my time, right? What I'm going to do is just go crazy on these trucks right here to get as many packages off of them as I can. Just going to be sprinting back and forth with this pallet, basically. And on that note, no, I have this pallet's big enough. Yeah, I don't need an upgraded pallet because this pallet's big enough to get every package, and then I just use Q to unpack it and everything. So what I want to do is get all of my equipment. That's what this stuff is. This is all just equipment that I'm going to use. I've just pre-purchased it all. So we're going to get that to be kind of sitting over here. That's fine. Just in big boxes over here. Just so it's definitely not... it's definitely not... Actually, it shouldn't be here. It should be over here. Yeah. It's definitely not stuff that's getting shipped, right? But I don't want it here, actually, because that's in my way. So what I can do instead, like after all that stuff is done and all that stuff comes in, I'm going to have to go in and then bring all those packages and put them on the belts. Okay, but we'll be able to test the system and get an observation of the system, like real time, by moving those packages over, if that makes sense. So like this system's going to run as it runs while I'm doing that back and forth. And then showing you how it works is going to be me bringing them over, and I'll be like, look, we can watch the packages go. Okay? So, start your engines. Vroom, vroom. Here we go. Getting all these. And then we're just going to go like that. Run over here. Run, 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 run. Yeah, grab all these. Yep, like that too. Grab all like that. Run, 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 run. Oh, so many packages today. This is going to be a crazy package day, man. There's going to be so many packages. Probably the most packages we've ever sorted will be today. And then, you know, once we get all this stuff set up, it'll just be like an every other Tuesday. This is about to be a very busy night. Look at all of this glory. The glorious packages. There's like $20,000 worth of stuff here. Oh my gosh. It's all there. And all 3 trucks, I did manage to get them to where they had one last delivery at the end of the night. Let's go ahead and quickly check over here. So you can see the packages are all built up here. So there's clearly a bottleneck in the system. Obviously the machines need to be upgraded and stuff too. I've already upgraded this one, because remember it was level 1. So I've upgraded those. They're level 2 now. This one's a pretty big bottleneck, I think. But everything's merging over here as expected. This one needs upgraded, so there we go. And this one here is already level 2 as well, and that one's maxed out. Okay. Now this one, everything's off the truck, so that's cool. Same thing here too. Everything kind of off the truck. This, I don't know, maybe this works okay. We'll see. Once the machines are sped up, maybe all this works okay. So far, 144 submissions today. That's before all of that. 144 submissions today and 0 errors. So things are working as they're supposed to. That's a good sign. I am definitely full for airplanes, right? Airplane stuff, definitely full. We're going to have to expand that. So that's something to consider. But all right, we'll consider it just, you know, later. Maybe I'll need like 4 shelves for airplanes. I mean, tomorrow they ship out, but it's just between... It's pretty much like between Friday, which is the last day the airplanes run, between Friday and Wednesday. It's only 2 days a week. Yeah, that's the problem. But all right, so as things get expanded, or as things get... Yeah, is there any red belts that need painted? I got paint in my hands. Nothing? I think the red belts are fine. It's the other belts I need to paint. I need green paint. You don't actually need blue paint. Fun fact, no blue paint ever needed. All you need to do is package one of these up and unpack it, and it comes out blue. So you lose your color that you choose when you pack something up. So if I was like, you know, I'm not going to do it again. You saw it. All right. But if you're ever like, I want that to be blue, well, to just pack it up, hit Q, pack it up. And again, Q is not on any of the tooltips, but that's how you do it. You hit Q and it goes back in the package, and then you open it with Q. That's the same thing. So, you know, if you pack it up and then unpack it, you lose the color that you had before and you have to repaint it. Everything defaults to blue. So I don't know, like the shelf might have worked okay. I think I'm just going to leave it here because why not? I mean, what's the harm, I guess? But, you know, it's okay, I guess. This is definitely a bottleneck, right? So when I get $10,000, the stamp needs upgraded. This is already level 2 as well. Country's fine. I think cargo type is fine. This is level 2. And then this one's going to stay level 1 because it's really low volume anyway, and I kind of don't care. If this somehow gets overloaded, then fine, $5,000 won't be an issue at that point. Okay, let me just... I don't even know how many packages, okay? There's like 200 packages on the ground here, is basically what it is. Let's just run an assessment here. All right, we'll just unpack those. Here we go. Just do that. All right. Drop them all right here. Let the doors close. The drivers are like, come on, man. Unload this so I can go home. All right. There you go. Say hi to your wife for me. Let's assess this. Just a little bit. Okay. And there's no way for me to quantify it right now. There's no way I can count it all, but I'm just going to kind of leave get an opening in through here too. But there's a lot of stuff in here to unpack. It'll probably be easiest for me if I had, while they're still processing, they're not processing this anymore, which is nice. So here's what I'm going to do in an attempt to make this a bit more sane for me is I'm going to take anything that's green. I'll get the palette here, I guess. Anything that's green and accept it already, like this one. We're going to click that. All right, there's probably a bunch of them, but it might take me longer to just meticulously do this one at a time. I think it probably will. What I was going to do is I'd take all the green packages, right? And then I just throw them here because they're already approved. So you just throw them here and they end up in the system where they're supposed to be. All right, that's how I'm going to do that. And then for the denied ones, you know, I can find a way to get them on that belt, really. So I don't have to run them all the way over there or anything. I just have to, you know, get them a portion of the way over, I guess. And so that's what I'm going to do. But one of the other things I thought about doing here real quick is break down this stuff because we don't need it. Right now, anyway, we don't need it. Just break down these, all right? And just to make things a little bit better for me on this upgrade. I'm going to take... Where's my unloader belts? I had loader belt here. Didn't I have a loader belt? I want a loader belt. You know what? I'll just borrow it, right? We just borrow the ones already here. We're not taking them off the trucks anymore, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them there. All right? And then we're just going to have these belts that we don't need anymore. I'm basically what I'm trying to do is just make it to where I don't have to run so far. Okay? So I'm just going to place them here now. All right. And, you know, it's a little bit slower, but as I'm cataloging everything and just moving things around through here, like this one doesn't have a sticker, so it needs searched, right? Stuff like that. This one's denied, so it'll go there, and then it'll just it ends up where it ends up because it's denied. So I can just like that, and we're good to go. Denied. Okay. So much to search, so much to sift through here, but with it being done, it does seem to me anyway that this system worked smoother like this than it used to. I don't know if the trucks were just better or what, but I've already processed 192 packages. Got to keep in mind though that about 45 of those packages were maritime and they were already in storage. So, but still, this is already, I think, more packages than I've ever processed in a single day. And that's submitted, not just like off the truck. That's submitted. So like that's delivered. And so right here, you know, I've got 2855 all time, but I think the largest streak I've had is 192. I don't think I've ever even gotten close to 200. And you know, we're gonna have, if we don't hit 400 today, I'll be surprised. I think there's well over 100 packages here, so it's going to be pretty easy to get over our record that we've set for ourselves here. So just like again, throwing this over here, and I guess that one's already a green package, so I really don't need to have that. You could just skip the line, you're fine. So anything green, I'll go ahead and just put it on the green belt like this. You know, just put it on the green belt, it'll get sorted. And it's very far away, right? So that's what I'm trying to bring this belt over here so I can be closer to it. I think just taking a little bit of time to bring that belt over here is going to make a world of difference for me tonight as I sort these things out. So I'm just going to break these down. It's going to lose their red color, and that's okay. Break these down, take them all back into the boxes, and we're just going to unpack them and just, I don't know, get them on their way over here, right? Just get them. That's cool. That's the kind of stuff that can happen when you unpack it on the pallet that I was trying to avoid before. Oh, Every time you flippy flop, I think you're going to go into the floor and I'm going to lose you forever. It's happened so many times. I've probably lost like, I don't know, the unloader over there that went into the floor. That's like $600 right there. So I've probably lost like $3,000 worth of stuff just like going through the floor. It's not fun, but it's just what it is. All right. Yeah, that's my task today. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay. Actually, you know what we're having a problem with right now is airplane storage is just full and it's going to start backing up the entire system. So, whoopsie, hang on. You come with me. Yeah. So what we're going to want to do, this is a boat one. I'm just going to send this directly down. What we're going to want to do, I think, is progress to the next day. And then that will allow airplane stuff to move out. And then I don't think we'll get clogged up then because there won't be that many maritime to clog up the entire thing. So I think that's the game plan. The unfortunate part, though, is that all of the maritime packages that came in, they're going to have to last extra time now, which is a little meh. I don't know about that, but yeah. So I think what I'm going to do instead, just because airplane packages are gonna clog this belt. They're not doing it quite yet, but you can see this. Like, this is overloaded. And, you know, eventually, I think actually right now, if there's any more airplane packages, they're going to stop here, and that's going to stop the whole system. And these packages are going to sit on the floor. Like, they'll stay here. They're like the whole day. We can start the next day with all of these, right? So I think that's kind of where I'm at, is that. So that means tomorrow will be our record-setting day, really. Not today, but tomorrow will be the record-setting day. So there's the airplane package right there, right? So if I put this on this belt, if I set that right there, right, it's probably not going to transfer. It'll probably stop right here. And that'll set up. It does go all the way. Okay. That's got to be the last one, though, then. So I'm going to stop putting things on the belt now. And I'm going to let everything that's already on the belt process. And instead of putting it on the belt, I'm going to just sort it close to the belt by moving all these packages inland, if you know what I mean. I'm just going to get them all closer to where we need them, just by moving them all in here like this. And then I can place them there a little bit easier tomorrow. And we'll sort through them all. So I'm going to cut you guys ahead now to tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, after I've sorted through all these things, I'll probably have like $40,000. I don't know if it'll be quite that big, but it'll be a lot of money. And then we can use that money to upgrade the existing machines that are already there to make that run really smoothly. And then we'll start automating this side, probably with a very similar setup than that has. Except this side, there's 3 doors. And again, each door is going to have its own sticker checker, weight, serial number checker, and probably stamp on this side because there's extra packages. And then from there, I'll probably start merging it. So we'll maybe have, merge things together into like 2 country checkers. And then the 2 country checkers will get merged into 1 cargo type checker and then still only 1 banned substance checker. And then from all of that, we need a really robust storage system because that's already overloaded, right? The airplanes are overloaded over there, and that's with 2 doors. And that's with 3 large shelves and 2 doors. So I'm thinking over here on this side, I was going to combine the storage for airplanes and maritime. That's not going to happen anymore. I don't think I would have done it anyway. I was thinking about it, but like come to find out, or like now that I think about it now, they don't go on the same day, right? So there's really no point in doing that. So anyway, I'll cut you guys back to tomorrow morning. Okay, we're starting Wednesday with $18,291 in our account. It's 0-0 right on everything. So let's close maritime and open the floodgates on the planes. See what happens here. Also, apparently there's a whole bunch of airline stuff over here that doesn't belong. I'm not sure why this. Oh, right. It's going that way. Yeah. It's going this way, but it's full, so they couldn't do it. Okay. They're going to get sorted in. All right. So let's see how much money we end up making. It already submitted something. That's That's lovely. We're going to begin by just throwing things on the belt. I don't care if it's denied or not. I'm just going to throw things on the belt because it's like a matter of my time versus the machine's time, right? That's the whole point of automation. I think, though, I can probably get a little bit just by like making sure that the green ones go that way. That's why I moved all the packages closer to the belt, so I could just be here instead. If it's denied, I'm going to throw it on the regular belt. It sorts it fast enough. I think it's fine. But if it's approved like this one, then I'm going to throw it on that belt, and then it doesn't have to take up the extra time. Yeah, that's the plan. All right. Let's see how much money we make today. Yesterday, I had 288 packages done. That was our streak, 288. And then apparently there's an invalid submission already today. I don't know where that came from. Honestly, it was probably left over inside that bay because that had like 10 out of 12 just sitting there. It's probably one of those from many, many days ago. So whatever. Guess it doesn't matter to me that much. Okay, so before we open the doors on Wednesday, we've already got 310 packages done before we even open the doors. Very cool. I'm also seeing this happening over here. Hang on. What is this? Why are you doing this? What is going on here? Excuse me? What's your problem? You're a train, so you should be going this way. What's the deal? Yeah. Why is that happening? Very bizarre. Anyway, you're going that way. And these things here are also hung up. Can't quite figure out why that's happening. It's like the ramps are doing weird things now too. This is maritime here. So you should go to the boat. At least the boat storage anyway. Okay, and then you too. Same thing. The ramps are acting up here. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But either way, everything seems fine now aside from the paint jobs. So 310 packages, like I was saying, $45,845. So I have all this equipment here. Okay, I got the red paint, the blue paint, need to get some green paint, but I've got all this equipment right here ready to go to try and make this happen. Okay, none of these belts are in finalized positions. They're kind of in rough positions. So they come off the truck here and it's going to flow into this tag, this machine here, right? Going to go ahead and upgrade that one. It also then flows into this weight checker, which, as you might have guessed, needs to be very fast as well. We're going to go level 2 for now because it's only doing one truck. Then it's going to come over and is this serial numbers? This is serial number here. Okay, yeah. Needs to be level 2. Before I get crazy with this, there was another machine I needed to upgrade over here, right? Or did I already do so? That is level 2 already. That is weight. Level 2, I feel like probably could be upgraded, but we'll wait. Right? We're doing level 2 for all the machines that are taking one truck. And then the machines where it combines, which is the stamp one, that one's going to get upgraded all the way, I think is what we were doing. So I'll spend the 10 grand on that one. And then this one we'll hold off on level 2 because the stamps might weed out a whole bunch and we'll see if we need to do anything with these. Okay. So with $21,800 left over and all of this equipment in our possession, all these belts. So this whole stack here is just straight belts. All my straight belts right here. Level 1 basic straight belts. We've got curvy belts right here. Probably going to need some more of those. We got some joiners right here. These 3 joiners. And then the paint. And then all of this stuff is set up right now, right? So I've moved the contents prohibited stuff. It used to be right over there. I moved it over here because I'm going to need a lot more storage in this area. I want to have these shelves a little bit further back and then have more of them and all that stuff too. There's our green light, if you will, or a green checker. So anything after that point, it is getting a tag, right? We got that stuff happening right now. And honestly, anything after this point can get the tag because this is coming out of the contents prohibited. So as soon as it comes out of that, it's going to get a green tag. Okay, so anything after that is now, we're dealing with, green packages that need to go out the door, right? Out this way. Okay. We also have some other equipment over here too. There are 4 loaders over here. and 4 unloaders over here, which is what I was going to use for, you know, these shelves and everything. But now I'm thinking we're probably going to need even more. And then the 4 large shelves that are right here. So the task is to first, I think we probably should try and route the initial stages for this door, and then we'll try to incorporate this door into it, and then we'll try to figure out if there's any merit to having this door split between the two. Because I think we could split between the two. Really, all we'd need to do is just send half the supply into this system, and then half the supply around, and half the supply goes into this shelf. That's really all we would have to do. So the shelf is just going to stay there and serve as like a buffer between the two zones. I think that's pretty good. So we'll leave that alone. And this is all leveled up all the way. This doesn't have to be, but this probably should be. Those should be as fast as possible, I think. So we'll level these up too. Especially if it's a level 1 belt. We definitely want it to be level 2 at minimum. Okay, I think that's all good. Yeah, those are all leveled up now. All the way around, right? I see the lights on all of them. Yeah. Okay. So on this side, it's like an overwhelming amount of stuff to like think about here for a second. So you gotta just take it one step at a time, right? When you have so many things to do, slow it down one thing at a time. One thing at a time is making sure all these belts are leveled up. So there we go, level 3 into this. So this is like a finalized little belt we're gonna have right here. If you're denied, you go that way. Hence the red belt, okay? We also have a joiner here because any denials here are gonna also zip into here, okay? Now, if you don't have a sticker applied, that's an important bit, then you need to go around and get into this side here for the weight thing. So we're gonna have to go like this, zigzag, and then zigzag. This is gonna come around that way. Okay, so these are all approved. If it already has an approved sticker on it, we need to get it out of here and get it over onto this green belt. Wherever this green belt ends up, we need to get this over there. So I am tempted to switch this and have the approved go this way and have denied go this way and wrap around and bridge over. But I think because these packages are also going to have denials, and those packages are going to have denials, and they're going to have approvals, and it's all going to happen. They're all going to need the same thing. So the important bit here, though, emphasizing, is that the approval belt is in the middle, okay, of these 3. And the denial belt is also in the middle. So the edges need to get to the middle, and we'll have everything flowing through the middle, okay? And then it eventually goes that away, over there. Okay. The other solution I had, or the other idea I had, and this could end up being the better solution here. So it might even be the more elegant one. And I'm still debating on whether I want to do it or not. Every single one of these bays is only a single belt going to cross this, okay? So as long as we have a straight belt going into here, example, as long as we have a straight belt going into here and not a curvy belt, we could take a bridge over top of this, right? Bridges are allowed on that. So if I was to grab any bridge, just to get a visual, I'll grab this one here. And it lost its red color, didn't it? No, it didn't. Okay. I didn't pack it. So you see this? If I move these machines over one tile, we leave the wall, the outside wall here, we let this outside wall be the denial pile. All the red stuff goes around the outside. All of these bays, we could then go over top of them, run alongside the wall the whole time, go over top of it, run alongside the whole wall the whole time, go over top of it, and then we end up, bam. And so that way, anything that's tagged, that's pre-tagged with a denial from these 3 doors, they just need to go, basically need to just get to this wall and hug it, because they can also go over the belts that are coming out of the doors. So everything that's denied can go around the outside instead of through the middle. And that leaves only the approvals ending up in the middle. That's an idea I've been thinking about. And it could work. My only hesitation there is that if anything is denied in the middle of the whole thing, like say for example contraband is denied, how do I get this to the outside when it's got all this stuff going on? And the only answer I have to that currently is a second denial belt going through the middle as well, right? Do both. And I think that's valid because we have multiple denial belts here too. These two are kind of merging. Eventually it merges onto this one here, and then it comes around, and then it also merges from this side, right? It's not like I had a unified belt over here either. So I think I'm probably going to end up doing both. But initially, my initial one, I think, is going to be trying to go to the center. So everything can get to the center is what I'm going to do. At least for this door right now, trying to get it to the center. And then I can always adjust it and move it to the outside if I do. But I want to automate this door and this door first, and then I can just deal with this one later. Okay, I've talked your ear off. How about we do something, huh? I got to talk about the plan, because the plan is it's like a fresh slate, and I have to like figure out how 3 doors work in the whole system now. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to move this over one just in case we end up doing that. So we're going to move over one, and I think it should be like this, right? And then we go in. No. This is going to be like this. Is it this way or the other way? That's the acceptance, I think. So this is going to be denial that way. Yeah. So we go this way and that way. Yeah. This ends up being the accepted side on that. Okay. So with that done, now if I do want to do that whole thing where it goes over top, I have the wall available. And then all I need is I'll just need to flip this is all I need to do. And then we have it. And you know what? I mean, maybe that's the better call. Maybe the call is to deny things now because I'm automating this door first. So maybe we just deny that straight way already, you know? Let's just see what it looks like. I don't know. Let's just see what it looks like. I'm kind of warming up to it the more I think about it now. So we'll go like this, and then this side needs to just flip. It goes that way now, yeah. So everything, all of this just flips. And we end up with... does this side flip too? Yeah, this side flips too. So it ends up being over here. This is the acceptance side now. So it goes in. If it's denied, then it comes out here, and then it would just be a join belt there. So let's just see what this looks like. If we have the denial this way, then that means that we're going to be curving probably right about here, right? Because we want to get away from all this other stuff. So just get these denials out of the way to the outside, and everything else in the center is going to do what it does. This needs to be a join belt then to there. And then that leads us to having this deny goes that direction. We curve in there, done. Okay. Comes over from this side. We can just keep this going. And we'll just keep it going with the red belts because we have them. Okay. This curve, probably not necessary to have curves here anymore because these are just going to go straight in. What we need are joins at this point. And then, so we'll just leave that alone. And then after you land, you come here. So we'll just get these out of the way for a second. Sure. They're easy to tell apart. I'll just put them in a pile. All right, so again, same kind of thing. As long as it's a straight belt going into here, it should be fine. If we do the curves, if we do see a curve into there, like, is it going to look really weird? I mean, probably, right? Because it'll end up being there and then also here, which is like clipping, and I don't want it to clip. So yeah, we want to avoid that if we can. So put that back to there. Yep. Okay. So straight belts, let's just start unpacking them and we can get this thing sorted out. 1, 2, 3. And then also we need a join. Bring that join over here. Like that. Okay. Straight belt goes this way. Straight belt goes this way. Okay. And then one more straight belt. That's a join. Is that important? Maybe. We might have a join later. There could be a join, like a denial that goes over top of all of this stuff. So why don't we just slap a join right there just in case? We could use it. But I guess I had a join in the wrong stack there. Okay. So that takes care of initially our deny pile right there. And then this belt here, we're going to need to do a little bit of different stuff with this. Maybe the weight needs to curve in twice in order to get there. So there's not a whole lot of cushion. Not a whole lot of extra space with this right here. But, I mean, you guys have been around my channel a while. If you have, you know I like to cram it right in there. I like to really tight spaces when I'm doing things. So, you know, as long as these machines are upgraded all the way, and I think this one here, you know, for weight, we'll see if it's a bottleneck. And if it ends up being a bottleneck, then, you know, we'll upgrade it. It probably will be. And there's not really a whole lot of reason to not upgrade it for $10,000. But let's just see how the rest of it goes and how much money I have when I'm done. So if that goes here, it gets approved, it gets valid. Now it needs to whip around and get into this. So I need you actually to go like this from here. Let's go ahead and get a couple more of these. Yeah, right here. I need you to whip in like this. Open. Open. Okay. Like so. And then like so. So there's a little more buffer here. And I like that. There needs to be some buffer. All right. And so I think maybe this machine might have to be upgraded just so that buffer doesn't like stop the truck, right? There's not a lot of space here. I could make more space on this side by squiggling this just to add some artificial space on there, as long as I don't crowd the door, because, ooh, actually I need to look at that. Does this look weird? It's going to look weird, right? Yeah, that's absolutely going to look weird. But I could go over this way. I could get away from the door on this side. So maybe we plan on the... Yeah, I think that's probably fine. We plan on it going through here. Okay. So it won't hug the wall on the side with those door switches. No big deal. So now we're to the point where we are invalid here. Let's just make sure that we can get you to go there. Okay. If you're approved from the serial number, we now need to make our way through to stamps, if my memory serves me correctly. And that's this machine here, right? Yes, come here. We need to make our way through to stamps. Now, I think on this side, what I probably will do is have this door have its own stamp. And then this door will split its stamp load between those two doors. Or I need to do it the other way and have... Because this one's sending half of its supply that way, so I could probably get away with it. This one sharing these two doors is what I'm thinking. But this one won't be sharing, so it's going to have its own. That's where my head was at anyway. So in that case, we could go stamps here. If we go stamps here, all right, it's not much of a... there's not much room there, but it can work. So let's try it. So we take you... Go in there. Yep. Let's grab another curvy belt. And stick you right there. So if you come out valid, you go in to get your stamps checked. Assuming your stamps are probably not good, then you'll be here. And we'll get a joiner and stick that right here. Because we're probably going to want to get access to this to send it that way from outside here, right? So any other machines want to send it to that direction, you're going to want access here, so we'll put a joiner there. That means we also need a joiner on this one. So this one needs to go, be replaced by that. Yep. And then we just simply put a straight belt right here. So I think that's going to work pretty well. Assuming we don't have this bend right here. We're not going to have this bend here because the bridge has to go over top of it probably. So But this is all like, these are just extra belts. These are not like finalized or anything right now. They used to be like, the idea was this would be the green belt, and then we'd have all the different, you know, conveyors and stuff that would put them into these storages. But I'm too close to this side. I gotta move that way. I want to move the whole operation that direction. So I think I'm okay with these not being green. I'll just paint them later. Just gonna, like, you know, put them all in boxes for now, I guess. And we'll get our pallet. We'll get our pallet over there to kind of move everything over here and get it out of the way, so we're not confused. Okay. I probably should just drop it at this point. Let's just not stack it anymore. Who cares? What about this equipment? Are we good? I think this equipment we probably should at least separate, but I don't want it here. But we're gonna separate it somewhere else. We're gonna put it. These are loaders, unloaders, so we'll stick it like right here in the center, I guess. Something like that is fine. Okay. So like, again, I'm kind of rough on where things are going to be positioned right now. Like, this could move over 2 tiles, it can move back 2 tiles, I don't know, but the general idea is eventually stuff ends up over here and it gets checked here at country. So the country checker here is going to be hauling a lot of, it's going to be moving a lot of packages. Probably going to be a bottleneck. We'll max it out. All 3 of those doors will use this country checker, because I think the country checker can handle the 2 doors, and then there's half the load, right, going to the other side. So I think this can handle it. And if it can't, we'll make modifications, but I think it can. Assuming that can handle it, then this one definitely can. Cargo type. And that's the last one, is the cargo type 1. We can upgrade this to level 2. We can upgrade this one to level 3, because right now these are both level 1. So we can do that. So all of this stuff, being that this is a stamp check, right? Double checking, trying to get, yeah, this is a stamp check here. So with that, let me just really quick reference my other one, because I'm drawing a blank here. So the stamp goes, yeah, right there. And so the last thing after that is country. Okay. So maybe the country doesn't need to be all the way back here, right? We can move it back over here. We can shift everything to where it goes that direction. But it does eventually need to come over here because, you know, airplane stuff is there, boats. So it's got to come over here eventually anyway. So, like, I'm okay with it being here, having all these belts merge, all the packages going on a one big long queue of a belt, right? Just to kind of get it out of the beginning. The beginning is the worst place for packages to stop. So if they're going to stop, have them stop way down the line so that the other machines can do their work. And then here's our red belt that's going to eventually go all the way down and go into there. We'll probably have a merger for that, like here. This will probably be like a merger here and here, where these belts meet and then they all go down the one. Yeah. Okay. So this part's done. I know I'm not like set up and ready to open the doors, but this part's done. And now all I need to do is route this to country. But I need this side set up so that I know where that belt's going, so that I know where this country belt can meet, and also where these the red belts from this side can also go that way, or they can go this way. And I haven't decided yet, but they might go this way, or they might go that way. Maybe I'll just use a splitter and they'll go both ways. Scarecrow this thing. All right, so I kind of felt like the video was getting a little chaotic, and I wanted to just take a moment, stop, and just assess the situation to kind of stabilize everything. So I've used pretty much all the parts that I've bought, and I come up with something a little bit like this. And this may change a little bit, but, you know, this is what we got so far. I only got $1,700 left. I've maxed out this belt. And I've got this to level 2. Obviously, would want this to 3 when we're fully up and running. Same thing with the weight thing. I think probably level 3, but we don't know. So I'm leaving it level 2 anyway for now until we see if it's a bottleneck. So we've got this all the way over. If it's good on valid and on weight, then it's going to come all the way over here for the serial number. This is going to be junk, right? Invalid will be here, and then this will head that direction to meet up with that line that goes all the way out that way. Okay. And then it's a joiner here because I probably want to slap something else here like one of these other machines potentially might want to feed into that. So I've got that as a joiner already because I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to tap into that. Now, if I tap into that, I'm going to need room for the bridge to come over top of this. So I'm thinking now we'll take this and just move it like 2 rows over. Okay, so we just slide these things to the left, which just means I need more belts, but that's okay. It gives me more room to potentially put in something else, right? It gives me a walkway between them, which is kind of nice too, just to have. It's got to space things out. We got a lot of space over here too, and this is a major belt that's going to carry a lot of packages to the door. So I'm going to space these out so that I have room for a bridge potentially later on. And like this. Now, over on this side, though, I think I will go ahead and merge it over here because I don't think any bridge will need to cross here. At least that's what I say. But you know what? It's possible. It's possible. Let's just space it out. We have the room, so let's just do it. And maybe we'll have bridges over this. I don't know. Let's move this over here. There we go. I think this setup is going to need like a part 1, part 2 kind of thing. We're pretty long in the videos at this point, so I think I'm probably going to have to go part 1, part 2 because my family is home now. I need to go. But, you know, I'm telling you what, this has been an experience. This has been really cool so far. And all these little joiners here, right? We need straight belts to come through here. I'll have to count how many straight belts I need. I'm probably just going to go ahead and buy, I don't know, 3 dozen of them. 3 dozen is probably still not enough. I bet I need more than 50 to complete just this part. And then also, like, that door is not even started yet. So I think for today, what I'm going to do is, like, for the Wednesday here, because I need the money, right? I think probably what we should do, we'll have what machines can run, will run at this point. And it should, on this path anyway, bring us very close. If I can just maybe move some of these things. I have enough to buy 16. I have enough to buy 16 straight belts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That hooks us up. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on this side, we need 9, 10, 11. And this one needs one of the curves. And then 12, 13, 14. So I can get all of these machines hooked up to the denial. But the denial still only goes out to here. It doesn't go all the way. So it's one of those things where I sort of have to pick one. And then this isn't... Obviously, none of this stuff is hooked up to country or anything like that yet. So... probably what will have to happen is we'll allow the packages to come in to the extent that they do, and I'll throw a whole bunch of them in the middle here, I guess. If they get sorted all the way out to where they can be sorted, then so be it. But pretty much we'll just assume and treat this whole area like, you know, like it's not hooked up at all. And I'll just be pulling packages out of it as fast as I can, but some of them will still come through and get sorted anyway. And then any denials will end up all the way down that belt anyway, so I can grab it with, you know, my pallet or whatever and just chuck them over there. They're at least that far already. I just did it when they're over here, so whatever. And then this is my extra country scanner, which is going to have to be set up in here somewhere too, probably right after stamp. So here's the stamp, and then right now it goes up this bridge, and it comes all the way over towards the country scanner, which is over here. So I can move these things, right? I can play around with it and be like, you know what? I want it to be here instead, and flip it like that. I could do that. And then I have my 2 little belts right here, which just kind of bring it all over into that. So now I have a country scanner hooked up to that. And the invalid can go right here. I have joiners. I have a joiner right here. Right, so I can just swap out the straight belt here, pop it there instead, and now I have that hooked up to the red belts too. You know, so I just need a few more straight ones, and I have the money for the straight ones to hook everything up to the denial belts. That will help a lot because there's a lot of denials. And then all the approved ones, you know, if they end up at the back of their track or whatever, at least they'll all be grouped together because they'll all be stuck on the belts, right? So if they're stuck on the belts, they're not necessarily approved, but they're whatever. I can always just kind of take them off the belts with the pallet and move them over into this system, you know, for today. And that's pretty much it. So this is part 1 of our automation of the full factory automation. I'm going to leave it here and come back from part 2 and we'll have the whole thing running. We'll start next video with it running to the extent that it can, and we'll build upon it with the money we get from Wednesday. And then we'll probably have, from that money, we'll definitely have those 2 doors at least fully automated and ready to rock. And they'll all be using these, at least to some extent. They're probably not going to have the storages and stuff and all the filters set up necessarily, but we'll at least get the denial belts hooked up so that all the red packages end up out the door. Okay. And then this is running wonderfully, so I don't need to do anything over here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.